side of a horrifying story.
I really feel like he was gonna try to take my life. He had done so many things to me, and I had fought so hard.
A victim of convicted serial rapist Robert Mantha speaks out outside court.
Multiple farmers in the area have to dig their wells deeper because their wells have dried up.
Alberta farmers fight the latest AI data center proposal. And remember this familiar smiling face?
For me, it's a blessing to be able to come back here to Canada, a place I call home.
Henry Burris returns as the Calgary Dinos guest coach.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Camilla Di Giuseppe.
Good evening. Sentencing submissions for a convicted Calgary serial rapist wrapped up today, with Crown prosecutors arguing Robert Mantha should spend more than a decade behind bars. His lawyer argued for much less, but in a rare instance, the judge revoked a publication ban on one of his victims at her request because she wants to share her story. Tyson Fedor reports.
It's been a long journey for Amy Ert. The former sex worker and addict is now charting a new path to recovery, 4 years sober. She sat in court reading 2 victim impact statements at the sentencing hearing of convicted serial rapist Richard Mantha.
He's a sick person. Something inside his head made him think that these things were okay. He needs help.
Court heard Mantha took Ert to his ramshackle rural property east of the city, where he suffocated and choked her before violently sexually assaulting her. Ert fought back, managing to escape, and was later found in a ditch by a passerby. She is sharing her story to lend a voice to others who have similar experiences.
My hope is that because I fought for my life, I'm able to fight for others too.
In a rare request, Ert asked the court to revoke her name from a publication ban that protected her and 2 other women. Their names remain shielded.
The weight of a long trial can cause re-traumatization. It can cause great uncertainty. However, for some individuals, that could be part of the healing process for them.
It's a sign of the times. I think it is a statement of survivorhood as opposed to being a victim.
Mantha was convicted of raping 3 vulnerable women and drugging one of them. Since being in custody, his health has deteriorated after he suffered a stroke and can no longer speak.
And the judge is required by law to take into consideration rehabilitation. Is Mr. Mantha capable of being rehabilitated?
Ert says she has forgiven Mantha for his crimes to put herself at peace.
It's freedom for me, right? I have to move forward in my life. I can't hold on to that. Seeing him now, he's not even a third of the man that he was when he attacked me.
The Crown is seeking a 10 to 13-year sentence for Mantha, while his lawyer argued 5 to 7 years would be more appropriate.
A higher sentence, specifically for Mr. Mantha, could increase the victims wanting to report in the future, that they will be believed and that justice will be served.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
The judge reserved her sentencing decision until September 17th. And Calgary police have charged a man following a series of random assaults in the Southwest that may have been motivated by hate. Police say the attacks happened while they were patrolling the Somerset Bridlewood C train station last Thursday. A man approached them saying he was assaulted after stepping in to help a woman who was confronted by another man. He said that man hit her in the face and shouted racial slurs. 38-year-old Stepan Surain has been charged with assault. He was also wanted on 11 outstanding warrants. The Alberta Utilities Commission started hearings today on a data center plan near Indus, which is east of Calgary. The group behind the project, Beacon AI, lawyers representing landowners, came together for the online hearing. Community members opposing the data center and natural gas power plant say the over 900-acre development will be taxing on the water supply for farmers. James Kyle's family farm would be located less than a kilometer from the power plant. He says that farmers in the area continue to deal with droughts, and having a project like this will only compound the issue.
We've had multiple farmers in the area have to dig their wells deeper because their wells have dried up. The farmers in the area are all seriously concerned about how detrimental this will be to their livelihoods and to the food that they grow for Alberta families.
Beacon AI says it plans to address issues involving the water supply, wetlands, and noise mitigation efforts. Traffic noise along Glenmore Trail in the southeast is causing a lot of concern for some Riverbend residents. Some have difficulty enjoying their backyards. Some have trouble sleeping. Others are soundproofing their homes. Tyler Barrow has more on what is being done to help tune out the traffic.
It's a beautiful day on the deck to listen to Glenmore Trail.
Early in the morning, just till late at night. It's a constant.
Barry McCauley even installed triple pane windows to help block out the noise. He isn't the only resident in the Riverbend neighborhood bothered. Some residents have moved their bedrooms just so they could get some sleep. Kathleen Schroeder has lived here for 20 years and, yes, knew she was moving near a major roadway. But she says the noise coming from Glenmore Trail has become worse.
Added extra lanes on both sides. It's pushed traffic closer to the wall, and the current noise barrier is not doing what it was engineered and designed for.
She's not wrong. Last year, she filed a complaint with 311. The city assessed the area in June and found the sound exceeds the noise level criteria of 65 decibels.
I'm kind of in limbo. I have the report that was mailed out to me that says, yeah, it's over limit.
In a letter from the city, it highlights the area as a potential candidate for the noise barrier retrofit program for 2026. Areas considered for revision are based on number of homes impacted, severity of the current traffic noise conditions, extent of noise reduction required, and estimated cost of noise mitigation. Lakeview is now getting a new noise barrier after the expansion of Glenmore Trail raised noise levels in that area. Meanwhile, Riverbend residents say help can't come to their neighborhood soon enough.
The new walls now are thicker, taller, so let's update it.
At this point, all I know is I need to get their approval to move it forward through their convoluted process.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
For the first time in 40 years, there were 0 wildfires burning in the forest protection area of Alberta. Alberta Wildfire says as of Monday, August 17th, there were no active wildfires in the province. The agency says thanks to the wettest summer on record, Alberta crews were able to be dispatched to help battle wildfires outside the province. But the fire danger in most of southern Alberta, including Calgary, remains at high to extreme. And by late this afternoon, 2 fires believed to be started by lightning were reported in northern Alberta. Both are being held. The province says it has pledged $169 million to wildfire management this year. Municipalities can also access up to $125,000 in provincial dollars to support their wildfire response. Danielle is in with our first look at the weather. We are experiencing wildfire smoke, however.
Yeah, we did get a little smoky out there today, but the good news is that's going to start to work its way out for tomorrow. So tomorrow will be a little hotter than today, or at least it will feel a little hotter with that humidity. It will feel closer to 28 in the afternoon. Lots of sunshine, and our air quality health index will go from moderate in the morning to low risk by the afternoon. So a really nice hot summer day to be had for tomorrow. Now Thursday looks unstable. We'll talk more about Thursday coming up.
Thank you very much, Danielle. The by-election writ has been dropped and campaigning is ramping up in the South Riding of Calgary-Shaw. Voters there will elect a new MLA on September 14th. Tim Brooke has more.
It's a busy day on the phones and doors for candidates in Calgary-Shaw.
What are your top-of-mind concerns?
This seat in South Calgary has been vacant since former Cabinet Minister Rebecca Scholes stepped down in May. On September 14th, at least 4 people will be running to succeed her, including Mike Derry for the UCP.
A lot of people come to me frustrated. They may not even know why they're frustrated. They're just frustrated, right?
Derry wouldn't specifically say what he'd do differently than Scholes as a member of the government, but does promise improvements in youth employment, education, and health care.
It's the cost of living. Everything has gone up and wages have not gone up to the same extent. So there's a lot of concerns there.
Derry's main competitor is Kyle Campbell. The NDPer's experience battling cancer has heavily influenced his campaign.
When I was feeling unwell, I spent a lot of time in emergency departments waiting for hours and hours on end. They are true professionals, but the system that they work in is overburdened and overworked and underfunded.
He lives just outside riding limits, but Liberal Party leader John Roggeveen hopes to become the first member of his party in the legislature.
I think they both run together. I mean, I think the people in Calgary-Shaw can best be represented by the Alberta Liberal Party. They're a lot more progressive than they think.
He sees an opening, even though a recall campaign against Scholes failed.
That suggests that there are those within the riding who are looking for better or different representation. And they might be open to an alternative, particularly given that it's not going to affect who serves as government.
And, of course, all parties will have to field questions about another important fall vote.
A good provincial government and good leadership can overcome the hurdles that we seem to be experiencing.
While I am absolutely going to be fighting to make sure that Alberta stays in Canada, we need to make sure that these voices of all Albertans are listened to.
If we're going to have a referendum on something, we should have a referendum on whether the government should be using the notwithstanding clause.
Advance voting begins September 8th. Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
Also expected on the ballot, teacher and lifelong Calgarian Kyle Joseph. He'll be representing the newly formed Progressive Tory Party of Alberta. That party did not respond to an interview request. Just ahead, taking history into the future. The Glenbow Museum's full makeover is getting closer to unveiling. We get an update next. Local Ukrainian choirs opened the Prosto Nebelitsi exhibit tonight at the Calgary Central Library. For the first time in its 15-year history, the exhibit featuring young artists from Ukraine has been presented in Canada. Previous shows have been held in Poland, Italy, Sweden, and France. The Calgary exhibit will run through to the end of August. The Glenbow Museum is getting closer to reopening after a 6-year, $205 million overhaul. Staff is now inside planning exhibits for the new space, and the doors will be open to the public next year. But today, Kevin Fleming takes us inside for a look around.
They used to work in a windowless space, but this is the new conservation lab at the Glenbow Museum with lots of natural light. And windows will also let the public see the restoration work going on inside the lab.
We were hidden away. We used to do some museum schools, and that's when the students could see us, but otherwise, yeah, we were on the 8th floor. The public didn't have access to it. So yeah, all this work could not be seen by public.
Melanie Shorleen says staff are back working in the building and planning is underway for the exhibits on all 8 floors of the museum.
Most people might not realize that there's 8 floors in this building. And previously, the public could access 5 floors. What we've done with the renovation is we've made all 8 floors accessible to the public. So people will have a different experience on every floor.
Sam Brown says the renovation included a new street side entrance, and the museum boasts the largest freight elevator in Calgary. An outdoor space will soon be open to the public.
We have this amazing new outdoor space. It was there before, but only pigeons got to enjoy it. So now we are building an actual terrace. There will be an all-season pavilion on that space as well. So 13,000 new square feet of public park space for Calgary.
And Brown says during the entire renovation, the museum's collection of 250,000 pieces never left the site.
We worked really closely with our partners like Ellis Dawn and our engineering team to make sure that items were protected, that humidity controls were maintained, those kinds of things, to make sure that the new HVAC systems, electrical systems, all of that could be done without any risk to the collections.
Staff say they still have a lot of work to do before the museum opens to the public in about a year's time. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
Thanks to a $25 million donation by the Shaw Family Foundation, general admission to the Glenbow when it opens will be free forever. Flight attendants with WestJet are voting on the tentative agreement with the airline. 4,400 flight attendants went on strike August 2nd during one of the busiest weekends for travel of the summer. Hundreds of flights were canceled before the two sides reached an agreement. The Canadian Union of Public Employees opened the voting on the contract yesterday. It runs until next Monday. The bargaining committee unanimously recommends flight attendants accept the deal. Premier Danielle Smith is taking credit for Ottawa's decision to repeal its electric vehicle sales mandate. While it may not have a major impact on consumers, one policy studies professor says it does show Alberta is being heard in Ottawa. Amanda Anderson reports.
As part of a push to reduce emissions, the Trudeau government introduced an electric vehicle sales mandate, a plan that would have seen EVs account for 20% of vehicle sales this year and 100% by 2035.
When it was announced, we would say that it was good to have an ambitious target, but was it realistic? Maybe, maybe not. Time will tell, and maybe time's telling us, right?
Several provinces fought it. The Alberta government said it was unrealistic, unaffordable, and would have taken choices away from consumers.
I drive a Hemi. It's for a reason. I like the noise. I like the rumble. Me sitting down in something that you can't feel it go. No.
You have to replace your batteries after 10 years. It's a significant cost. And so that's kind of the part of my problem with it. But as far as in a general way, it's a good thing.
The mandate was scrapped this week. Without new stricter tailgate emission standards, the Fed said would replace it.
It doesn't mean that EVs are being rejected. It simply means that a whole lot more needs to be done to present credible alternatives to reducing emissions.
The head of the Alberta Electric Vehicle Association says the scrapped sales goal likely won't impact consumers.
What drives the consumer focus is more on the incentive side of things. And since those have been put back into place, we are seeing the demand of EVs increase again.
He says it's also about educating people about how EVs have evolved. Alberta's premier calls the mandate removal a victory, thanks in large part to her government's advocacy. She also says it's an important step towards resetting Alberta's relationship with Ottawa.
She and Federalists can claim a victory here, saying that cooperative federalism does work.
The feds are expected to start consultations on the new tailgate emission standards in the fall, a process the province says it will be watching closely. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Danielle is up next with her Skywatch forecast. We have a sunny summer day ahead of us. Let's hope if the smoke stays away. Those details next.
Well, today was certainly a hot one, and in fact, all of this week will be very, very summer-like, and daytime highs will be above normal. A normal daytime high for this time of year in Calgary is about 22, 23 degrees, and we certainly got above that today with a high of 26. Drumheller, Lethbridge, Medicine Hat got into the 30s for today. Radar and satellite, nothing to talk about right now, and it will be another quiet day for tomorrow as well. So quiet weather. Now today, when we talk air quality, we had fairly poor air quality in Calgary. We're at that moderate level in the Air Quality Health Index, and we even got to the higher risk level in the Lethbridge area today, and certainly higher risk level on the BC side, which is why they do have air quality warnings in place, because it will continue to be poor air quality through tomorrow on the BC side. On the Alberta side, it's going to start to work its way out. So we were at a 7 earlier today, which is high risk on this Air Quality Health Index in Lethbridge, and Calgary got to a 6 today. We're going to move down to moderate for the morning and then down to low risk by later in the day tomorrow as this works its way out. But again, it will continue to be smoky in BC for tomorrow. All right, when we look at weather and active weather, there is nothing on our doorstep for tomorrow. Tomorrow will be another quiet one, just some cloudy periods at times. Thursday, though, should be quite an active day, and we have all the ingredients in place for not just thunderstorms, but more severe thunderstorms. Even in the morning hours, we're going to see some activity in the southeast corners, so showers and thunderstorms possible here, likely not severe by this point. As we fast forward, though, to Thursday afternoon, 3 o'clock, we'll see that development earlier on around 2, right along the mountains, and then track towards the QE2, especially near Innisfail, down through Calgary, and then down to about Nanton is the possibility at this point. This is wave number 1. And again, we could get to the more severe level. And then these will intensify. We'll get another wave around the supper hours, and then another wave closer to the midnight hour is certainly possible. So thunderstorms possible anywhere from 3 to midnight in southern Alberta, especially along the QE2, down towards Calgary and down Highway 2. And again, that's for Thursday. So tomorrow is stable, it's bright, it'll feel like 28 with the humidity. Thursday will not be as hot, 23 is a daytime high, and by 3 o'clock we get into the risk of thunderstorms, and some of these cells in southern Alberta will reach the more severe criteria with that larger size hail and damaging wind gusts. But we recover for Friday. Friday will be bright once again, so will Saturday for the most part, and by then you're looking at a high of 27 degrees.
Thanks very much, Danielle. He's back and ready to give back. A face familiar to Stampeders fans returns to McMahon Stadium, helping another team. The U of C Dinos have started their football camp, and they've got a guest coach in town who many would remember from his Stampeder days. Three-time Grey Cup champion Henry Burris says he's happy to be back. Glenn Campbell reports.
Henry Burris spent 9 seasons in Calgary with the Stampeders. This week, Small and Hank is back on the turf at McMahon Stadium, but not with the Stamps. He's here as a guest coach of the U of C Dinos.
You know, to have an opportunity to come back and just share some of the knowledge, and if you had to spend some time with Coach Sheehan and the rest of the entire staff and the entire team, you know, this is something I couldn't hesitate to do, you know, especially in the city of Calgary, you know, a place that helped, you know, put me in the position that I am today, and I'm awfully thankful for it.
Burris was familiar with Dinos head coach Ryan Sheehan from their days in Hamilton and didn't hesitate when he was asked to help out.
It's been a blessing to get to know him, just to see his journey, proud of him, but to have a chance to come up here and continue to learn and continue to help give back to the game is what it's all about, and I didn't hesitate once he made that call to me.
Burris has a wealth of coaching experience. He spent time in the NFL with Chicago, Jacksonville, and the LA Rams, and he was a co-offensive coordinator at Florida A&M. That's where he first met Dino starting quarterback David Jordan. Burris recruited him and actually suggested he head north and try his hand at the Canadian game. Jordan says he loves being reunited with Burris.
Really just picking such a Hall of Famer type of mind, it was just amazing. And yeah, just spending the week with him and continue to spend these days with him, especially during practice, meetings, or even outside of the stadium, you know, just really starting to pick at him and understand, you know, this game does really, it goes beyond life. So really grateful.
Burris is here to help make Jordan a better quarterback, but he has been impressed with the strides he's taken since joining the Dinos.
But just to be able to be here with them again, bring some home cooking with them, some home flavor, but also a guy who knows him well, a guy who can get after him about some of the little faults that he had when we worked together in the past, but also seeing the strides that he made and making sure I'm his biggest cheerleader in those moments as well.
Glenn Campbell, CTV Sports, Calgary.
Great to see him in town. Training camp wraps up on August 28th. The Dinos will play a non-conference game against the Regina Rams on Sunday in Medicine Hat. All right, that's it for us here at CTV News at 11:30. Thank you for watching. We will see you soon. Have yourself a great night.